Tell us about how you got involved with this project.
Well, I got an email from Uri, and Uri described it in his email as the financial mechanism to lend transparency and data-driven decision-making for investors. We all see analysts all day. You watch CNBC, and people are saying buy, sell, hold. Are they good? It's like going to a baseball game. You have an ERA. You have a one-loss record. Uri uses all the analytical data. They have 19 wizards back in Israel. This is an Israeli tech startup. They look at all the recommendations, buy, hold, sell, and compare them to the actual record and say who's performed well, who hasn't. And I said, this is what the market needs. It's a market-driven answer for investors.
I can't believe nobody's done it before. It seems so logical.
Well, how is this different than what Morningstar does, Uri?
Well, basically, we don't rank funds. We rank financial experts. We also, since we're using technology to do that, machine learning and big data algorithms, we are able to understand unstructured text, like what bloggers and contributors are saying around the world.
You know, Uri, it's also, it wouldn't be Morningstar, it would be II, right, is who you compare it to. But II, many times, it has nothing to do with the stock performance of their recommendations. It has to do with how they interact with their clients.
Does he call you back? Does the analyst
and do they give you good
it's
fundamental research? And fundamental research really rarely correlates with stock price.
If you go to this website and you can adjust the metrics based on how long you hold, what you want to compare it to, what the sector is, it is amazing. You can see analysts, bloggers, how they performed agast the market.
Have we found any analysts that are any good at stock timing? Really?
So there are thousands of analysts, and most of them aren't really good. But you have about you have about 15% of them that we notice that can consistently outperform the markets year over year.
15%.
Yeah, but the interesting thing that we found is actually not the analysts; it's the bloggers themselves. That some of them are money managers in their part of their day job. But what we found is that following bloggers, you can generate much higher revenues than following the average analyst.
How do you make money? Do people have to subscribe to your site? Do they pay for the data, or do you get advertising? What is it?
So we have a few different business models. The first one is we have a website that, like most information services, is geared towards investors, and you have a monthly subscription.
What's the subscription fee?
So it varies between $10 for a light version, where you can evaluate any recommendation you're getting online. You can see what the top performing experts are saying and basically do your research there. And we have a more premium one for the $50 a month, where you can do your own benchmarks. You can compare any analyst to the S&P, to the sector. You can define the time horizon of each investment that you're going to measure.
CNBC should have a...
I don't know. The two largest Israeli banks have already signed up the service, and they're going to be hedge funds. They're going to be trading platforms. Put that aside. I just want to clear. You remember the first case I made was about analysts, right? Not the first.
But they were investment bankers when you were making
it. But this was a different issue. Back then, it was illegality. They were intentionally misrepresenting. We alleged. They acknowledged.
All
right. Well, all right.
You thought everything was illegal.
This is more important for investors. This isn't whether they're doing it intentionally. This is simply, are they good or bad? Right. Intentionally or not doesn't matter to the investor. And this is a market-driven, data-driven mechanism. And look, I'm not here, and the site doesn't say buy, sell, hold. My view is buy an index fund if you're going to invest. But if you're in the market, this is the site that says...
Why do you want him on your board?
Well, obviously, he knows a lot. And we share the same vision of empowering the retail investor and creating a transparent market.
How do you cut through the ridiculous... like the jargon that every firm has some different way of not selling, not saying sell, or not. I mean, it's a 1-1-2 and a 3-1.
So I agree with you. There is a wide, confusing terminology that brokers use. We basically map them, and
we can't tell how their track record is.
So we map ratings like outperform, overweight. It's all a buy for us, and an underperform and an underweight is going to be a sell for us. So we map them into a buy, hold, and a sell, and then we just open a position whenever.
And half the time, I remember Merrill used to say that it wouldn't be a 1 wouldn't mean it's going to outperform. It could go down, but it would go down less than the overall. It's all in reference to the market, so they're never wrong.
That's how they want to show it. But if you're an individual investor and you're going to get an overrate rating for a specific stock, you're going to look into it, and many times you're going to be responsive for it. And we're trying to look at it from the perspective of the investor.